Right. Hi everyone, welcome to this session on TCS models. I think we have already done quite some models in your class, and I know this is just one day before the exam. There will be a lot of running around. We'll be kind of searching various blogs to find out the questions, various forums to find out the questions. So what we thought was, why don't we do that running around for you, right? We have got in touch with some of our sources, and we found quite some questions which are kind of asked repeatedly. Most of them we have already done, but however we thought that if you can go through them, it would be very helpful for your exam. So let's get started. Right, we are going to have a total of 15 questions. I think within this session I'm going to solve around 7 or 8 questions for you. Right, the plan is I want each one of you to, whenever we come across a question in this video, freeze the video, solve the question, then look at the solution. That is going to be the plan. I think that's clear for everyone, right? So let's get started, guys. Let's start with the first question. This is a classic permutations and combinations question, right? And we have done many of these kind in our class already. Let's take a look at this. In a staircase, there are 10 steps. A child is attempting to climb the staircase. Each time she can either make 1 step or 2 steps. In how many different ways can she climb the staircase? In how many different ways can she climb the staircase? Now, if you kind of take a look at this question, there are a lot of different ways. I think we have solved one kind of a model of this question in our class, but let's take a look at this. Let's understand the question. What is happening that this person is trying to go from step 1 to step 10, right? And she can either take 1 step during this process or 2 steps during this process, right? In how many ways can she complete this entire 10 steps? So the total amount she has to travel is how much? 10. Now she can either take 1 step or 2 steps. The number of 1 steps she takes, let's assume them to be A. The number of 2 steps she takes, let's assume them to be B. Now, what should happen? A plus 2 into B should be equal to 10, right? Now, what are the different cases possible? Let's take a look at this. Suppose say she takes all 2 steps only, no 1 step. So that means A value becomes 0, B value becomes equal to 5. In that way also she'll be able to cover 10 steps. The other way is, suppose say she takes 4 2 steps, then the number of 1 step she needs to take is another 2, right? Similarly, the number, let's assume she takes 3 2 steps, the number of 1 step she needs to take is 4. Let's say she takes 2 2 steps, the number of 1 step she needs to take is 6. Let's say she takes 1 2 step, the number of 1 step she need to take is 8. Let's say she completes everything in terms of 1 steps only, then she has to take 10 1 steps, and the number of 2 steps are 0, right? So in number of ways you can accomplish this task is how much? There are 0 1 steps and 5 2 steps. That means all the steps are of 2 itself. So the number of ways you can accomplish this particular thing, just this particular case, is how much? 5C5, or that is equal to 1. Right. What is happening in this case? There are 2 1 steps and 4 2 steps. Right. So there are totally 6 cases. There are totally 6 things that are happening here. Out of which I need to select any 4 where she can take. Totally she is taking 6 steps here. 2 1 steps and 4 2 steps. So totally there are 6 things that are happening here. Out of which I need to select how many? I need to select how many ways of selecting 1 step? 6C 2. Or else I can also take how many ways of selecting 2 steps. How many ways I could select? Those 4 steps where I can take 2 steps at a time. That is 64 or 62. In either ways your answer is 15. Right. Here there are 7 steps all in all. Right. Out of which the number of 2 steps she can take at a time. The number of ways I could select 2 steps at a time, that is 7C3, which is equal to, calculate 7C3, 7 into 6 into 5 by 6. If you calculate that, you'll get this to be some 35. Right. Now here total how many steps are there? 8 steps are there. Out of which how many should I choose? I need to choose 2. So 8C2 would be again equal to 28. Just do the calculation after this. Here there are totally 9 steps. 9 means I need to select at least one. 9 means I need to select one place where she can take 2 steps at a time. So that is equal to 9C1, and this is equal to 10C10. Let's calculate this. 5C1 gives you how much? 1. 6C2 is 15. 7C3 is 35. The next one is 28. Here I have 9C1 as 9 itself, and the last one I have 10. Let me add this. 1 plus 5 16 plus 35 is 51. 51 plus 28 is 51 plus 28 79 plus 9 88 plus 10 it is, sorry, this is not 10C, 10 is just 1. So if I calculate this, this will come down to some 88 ways. Right? I'm just doing the calculation again. 50, 28 is 78, 87, 89. So the number of ways I could accomplish this task is 89 ways. So your answer becomes option D, none. Right? Chalo. Let's move on to the next one now. Okay. Now this is a very easy question. Right. Let's take a look at this. A girl entered a store and bought X flowers for Y dollars. Okay. So the number of flowers brought her flowers she bought is how much? X, and the amount she spent was Y dollars. Right. When she was about to leave, the clerk said if you buy 10 more, that means she's asking him to buy asking her to buy X plus 10. Right, I'll give you all for $2. So X plus 10, he's saying that he'll be giving it for only $2, and you will save 80 cents a dozen. That means for per dozen, she'll be saving 80 cents if she buys X plus 10 flowers for $2. Right, now I'm not going to solve this question. Right, all you need to do is go ahead, take each one of your options, substitute in these cases, and see for which one that 80 cents case, that 80 cents are saved. For which of the cases 80 cents per dozen are saved. Right, go ahead and try it out. I think the answer for this is option A, 5, 1. Right, let's move on to the next one now. Right, I hope this is a problem you could do by yourselves. Just go ahead and substitute it. Let's move on to the third question now. Right, how many possible ways can you write 3240 as a product of 3 positive integers? So you need to write 3240 as sum A into B into C. Right, now this is a very beautiful question. This is a combination of number systems. This is a combination of your permutations and combinations, distribution ka concept. Right, now let's take a look at this. Now you have 3240. Right, the first step, what do I mean by I have to write it as product of 3 factors? I can write it as some 18 into 10 into 18. I can write it this way. I can write it as 36 into 9 into 10. Right, I can write it as some 2 into 5 into 324. I can write it anyways. Right, now whatever way I write, right, 2 into 5 into 324, 36 into 9 into 10, 18 into 10 into 8, all these are kind of derived out of your factors of 3240, or else your prime factors of 3240. At the end of the day, 18, 10, 18, 36, 9, 10, 2, 5, 324 are all formed as different combinations of your prime factors of 3240. Right, so the first step to do in these kind of problems is write down 3240 in a standard form. We discussed in our class what standard form is. Standard form is expressing the number just as a product of prime numbers. So if I write it down as standard form, I can have 2 cube into 5 into 3 power 4. Let me check this. 3 power 4 is 81. 81 5 is 405. 405 8 is 3240. Perfect. So I have 2 cube into 3 power 4 into 5. Now, if you kind of take a look at this, now let's compare these two. Now, let's suppose say this one, 36 into 9 into 10. That's when you'll understand what I was speaking about earlier. Right. How is 36 formed? 36 is formed by 2 square into 3 square. Right. How is 10 formed? I'll take 1 2 from here and I'll take 1 5 from here. Right. How much is left over? 3 square is left over, that comes down here. So 2 from here and 3 square from here gives me 2 square into 3 square, which is 36. 2 from here, 5 from here gives me 2 into 5, which is 10. And since 3 square is gone, the leftover is 3 square, that comes here. So 2 square into 3 square is 36, 9 and 10. So what are you doing? You are distributing 2, 3, 5, the total power of 2 cube you are distributing among 3 places. 3 power 4 you are distributing among 3 places. 5 power 1 you are distributing among 3 places. Right. So if I kind of simplify this formula, I'll just erasing this and I'll just write down the standard form, right? Now, in simple terms, they are asking you, there is 3240 which gives you 2 cube into 3 power 4 into 5, right? Now, they are asking you 2 cube, here 3 2's are distributed among A, B and C such that each can get any n number of objects. Each can get any number of objects, right? It is very similar to a problem of n identical chocolates distributed among R children. Now the number of ways of doing this is, revise your class notes once, I think we have done this. N plus R minus 1 C R minus 1 is the formula in which n identical chocolates are distributed among R children. Right. Now let's use this particular formula. Right. Your 2 cube is being distributed among A, B and C. So how much is distributed among A, B and C? 3 2's are distributed among A, B and C such that each place can get any number of 2's. So number of ways 2 cube is distributed among A, B, C is how much? 3 2's among 3. So the n value is 3, R value is 3. So 3 plus 3 minus 1, C 3 minus 1. This will give you some 3 plus 3 is 6 minus 1, 5C2. Right. In the next case, what is happening? 3 power 4. That means 4 3's are distributed among A, B and C such that each one can get any number of 5's. Again, any number of 3's. The number of ways you could do is, n value is 4, R value is 3 again. So 4 plus 3 minus 1, C 3 minus 1. Which is nothing but 4 plus 3, 7. This is 6C2. Right. And the last one is, you have 5 power 1. Which has to be distributed among A, B and C. Again, it can be distributed in different ways. On how many ways can you do this? One thing has to be distributed among 3, n value is 1 and R value is 3. So, 1 plus 3 minus 1, C 3 minus 1. So, 1 plus 3, 4. 4 minus 1 is 3. So, that is 3C2. Now, this should happen and this should be distributed and this should be distributed. 2 cube, 3 power 4, 5 power 1 all have to be distributed because the total product is 3240. Right. So if you count this, whenever there is an and, you multiply things. Right. So 5C2 into 6C2 into 3C2. So 5C2 is 10, 6C2 is 15, 3C2 is 3. 10 into 15 into 3 is 450. Your answer becomes option A. Right. This is a very difficult question, at the same time very interesting one. Right. You might not still be clear with this. What I want you to do is kind of, the very big advantage of this video is you can play it as many number of times as you like. Right. So go back, try it once, play it back until you understand. You keep playing the video. The simple thing is, the total standard form is 2 cube, 3 power 4 and 5. Both 3 2's, 4 3's and 1 5 can be distributed among A, B and C in any number of ways. That means each one of them can take any number of objects. Right. It's a beautiful question of number system. It's a combination of factors and what we say, permutations and combinations. Right. Now let's move on to the next question, guys. Right. Again, this is a very nice question. Right. In a 3x3 grid, comprising of 9 tiles, each tile can be painted in red or blue. When the tile is rotated by 180 degrees, there is no difference which can be spotted. Right. 9 tiles. Right. Now they are rotated by 180 degrees. Right. There is no difference which can be spotted. How many possibilities can be there? Right. The first thing I'll do is I'll kind of draw a 3x3 grid. So let me draw a 3x3 grid here. Right. So what is happening here? Let me name the numbers. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, 7, 8 and 9. Right. Now what are you doing? Each one of them you can paint either in red or blue. Right. Each one of them can be painted red or blue. But this is painted in such a way that after rotating by 180 degrees, there is no difference that that can be spotted. Now first let's rotate this grid by 180 degrees. What happens? 90 degrees means what happens? 3, 6, 9 come here. Right. 180 degrees what happens? Again you rotate it. First if you rotate it by 180 degrees what happens? Right. Let's take a look at this. So 3, 2, 1 comes here, right? 6, 4 and 5 comes here, right? And the last one, what happens? 7 goes here, right? And 8 comes here and 9 comes here, right? This is the thing that happens if you rotate it by 180 degrees. Now, what is happening, though I rotate it by 180 degrees, that there is no difference. Now, if there has to be no difference, what should happen? Now, let's take a look at this. The color, let me kind of color it, and that's when I think we can use some colors. So, suppose say, this is blue. Right, this is all blue color. Now, if I rotate it by 180 degrees, what should happen? Again, blue should come on top. That's when there will be no difference between the previous one and this one. So, what should happen? This one should also be blue color. Right. Now, what is happening here? Which two should be of the same color? This 1 and 9. If they are both of the same color, if 1 and 9 are both either of red color or blue color, that's when what happens, though you rotate the square by 90 degrees, there will be no difference in the top square. Similarly, let's take a look at this. What are the other two that should be similar? 2 is going here, right? And what is replacing 2? 8 is replacing 2. So what should happen? 2 and 8 should again be of the same color. So they again, they can either be red or blue, but both of them should be either red or blue. Right. Similarly, let's take a look at this. 3 and what is replacing 3's place? 7 is replacing 3's place. So 3, 7, they should again be of the same color. 3 and 7. So red or blue here. Right. Again, what should happen? What are the things left over? 6 and 4. So 4 and 6 should again be of the same color. Again, can be red, can be blue. Right. Now, what about 5 then? What about 5? Right. The good thing is 5 does not change its position. So whatever color 5 may be, it doesn't really make a difference for us. So 5 can again be of red or blue color. Either it is red or it is blue. It doesn't really make a difference. So let's take a look at this. 1 and 9, what are the choices it has? How many choices it has? It can be either red or blue. So 2 choices. 2 and 8 has 2 choices. 3 and 7 has 2 choices. 4 and 6, 2 choices. 5 again can be red or blue. So 2 choices. So how many total possibilities are there? This can happen and this can happen. So each one of them can happen. So multiplication. So how many 2's are there? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So 2 power 5 is nothing but 32 is your answer. So your answer is option B, 32. Right? This is a very interesting question. Now let's move on to the next one. Okay, this is a question about on trigonometry. Right, not completely, it's more of geometry and right angle triangle problem. Right, so let's take a look at this. A tree of height 36 meters at the edge of the road broke at a certain height. It fell in such a way that its top touched the other edge of the road. Top touched the other edge of the road. If the breadth of the road is 12 meters, then what is the height at which the tree broke? Right, so what is happening? There's a tree which is at the edge of the road. Right. Now what is happening? This tree is broken and the situation is something like this. There is a tree, it has broken and it is forming. The edge has fallen such that it touches the other edge of the road. The tree has broken in the middle such that the edge of the tree touches the other edge of the road. Right. So if I kind of take a look at this diagram, this is of something of this sort. So this is the road. This is the tree which has broken and this is the this is one part of the tree. This is the second part of the tree. What I know, the total tree is 36 meters. Total tree is 36 meters. Let's assume it broke at a height of h. Okay, it broke at a height of h. So if this is h, and what do you know? Initially there is h and there is total is 36. So if this is h, this becomes how much? 36 minus h. So in this, what is the broken part here? This is the broken part and it measures 36 minus h. And what do you know about the breadth of the road? The breadth of the road is 12 meters. Right. Assume the tree to be at right angle. That's when you can solve the problem. Right. So now simple. What is happening here? It's a plain Pythagoras theorem. You have to apply your Pythagoras theorem. So what does your Pythagoras theorem say? Adjacent side square plus opposite side square is equal to hypotenuse square. Right. Or here if you kind of take a look at this, substitute this. You have 12 square plus h square is equal to 36 minus h whole square. Solve this entire equation. I think you'll get your answer to be 16. So the tree broke at a height of 16 meters. Right. Just an application of your Pythagoras theorem problem. Right. Chalo guys, let's move on to the next one now. Okay. A, B and C can do work in 36 days. A and B can do the work twice, can do twice as much as work as C alone. Okay. A and C together can do thrice as much work as B alone. Find the time taken by C alone to do the whole work. Right. So you have A, B and C. What do you know? A and B can do twice as much work as C. That means if he does 1 unit of the work, they do 2 units of work. Right. And A and C do how much? Thrice that of B. That means B does 1 unit, A and C do 3 units. Right. Now A, B and C put together, they do how many units? They can do a work in how many days? 36 days. Right. It's a classic time and work problem. I don't want to solve this, but however, I would just give you the answer. The answer is option B, 108 days. Right. Go ahead and solve this problem by yourself. It's not very, it's not a difficult problem at all. Right. Now, let's move on to this problem. This problem is not a very difficult one. Right. But if you kind of want to solve it more in a systematic way, this kind of can take a lot of time. Let's take a look at this. Let's understand what is this problem about. Raj writes a number. He sees that the two digit number exceeds 4 times the sum of its digits by 3. Okay. What does that mean? There's a 2 digit number AB. Right. So AB I can also write it as, since this is tens place, I can write it as 10 into A plus B. This exceeds this sum of the digits, that means 4 into A plus B by 3. Exceeds 4 times the sum of its digits by 3. 4 times the sum of its digits. Sum of digits A, 4 times is 4 into A plus B. It exceeds by 3. If the number is increased by 18, so add 18 to this, what happens? The result is same as the number formed by reversing its digits. So 10 into B plus A. If I add 18 to this will become 10 into B plus A. Right. Now find the number. Right. Now what I'll do is, the first thing I'll do is, instead of solving all this A plus B, A, B and everything, right, I'll go with the options. So suppose say my options, 35 is my answer. So what should happen if I add 18 to 35? It should be exactly reverse of that. So 35 plus 18 gives me how much? 53. Very good. Is 53 reverse of 35? Yes. The first condition is satisfied. That means this particular condition, this is satisfied. Now let's see if this condition is satisfied. What does this condition say? 10 into A plus B is equal to 4 into A plus B plus 3. So that means 35 is equal to 4 into 3 plus 5 plus 3. So 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 into 4 will be how much? 32. 32 plus 3 is 35. So 35 is equal to 35. So this condition is also satisfied. So your answer becomes option A, 35. Again an easy problem, but if you kind of went by solving the equation, this might be a slightly complicated. If you kind of look at it, the question is a bit lengthy and everything, but at the end of the day, if you can use the options, it becomes a very simple one-step problem. Okay. Now let's move on to the next one. Again a time and work problem. Right. George and Mark work for a company. George can finish a job in 30 days. Mark can finish it in 45 days. A project was taken by the company and George was made the superior. This move from the company was not liked by Mark. So Mark did not work for 15 days. Find the total number of days the entire work was completed if Mark works at his normal speed after 15 days from the date of commencement. This is a classic, this is a problem which is intentionally made lengthy just to kind of make, just to kind of make, induce fear in you, just to kind of, make you fear, just to kind of make you leave the problem. This is a very simple problem. I'll just write this problem in some other way and you'll suddenly feel the problem is easy. So A can do a work in 30 days, B can do a work in 45 days. Okay. Now A starts the work after 15 days, B starts the work. Okay. B starts and A joins after 15 days. Right. In how many days can the entire work be completed? That's it. Something which can be done in 2 lines or 3 lines, they just kind of made it look tougher by adding 4 or 5 lines and lot of unnecessary data. Right. What was the question? There were 2 persons, one person can do a task in 30 days, the other person can do it in 45 days. Right. And B starts the work, A joins after 15 days. In how many days can they complete the work? Simple question. They added about George not liking the company, smooth, etc., which is not necessary at all. Now this is a classic TCS problem. This is how TCS kind of makes you, fear about their questions, right? One important learning from this problem is never judge the question by its length, right? I'll just kind of give you the answer for this question. Again, as I told you, time and work, we have solved enough questions in the class, so this should not be really difficult, right? And the answer for this question is 24, right? You could go ahead and solve it once. Okay. Now let's move to the next one now. Now this is a very nice one. On a toss of 2 die, A throws a total of 5. Find the probability that he throws another 5 before he throws a 7. Right. Now what is happening here? On a toss of 2 die, what is happening? A throws a total of 5. Find the probability that he throws another 5 before he throws a 7. Right. Now what is happening here? First he already throws a 5. Right. A has already thrown. The roll was about 5. Now instead of 5, we need to check what is the probability of 5 occurring before 7 occurs. Right. Now what did you discuss about when 2 dice are rolled? What are the different possibilities? You might get a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So the maximum sum is 12 and the minimum sum is 2. And the number of ways you can get 2 and 12 is just one way. Either you get 1, 1 here or else you get a 6, 6 here. We have discussed the whole thing in the class. Right. So similarly for 3 and 11 you have 2, for 4 and 10 you have 3 possibilities, for 5 and 9 you have 4 possibilities, for 6 and 8 you have 5 possibilities, for 7 alone you have 6 possibilities. Right. Now what is the question that is asked? You have to get a 5 before a 7. So what is probability? Number of favorable events by total number of events. What are the favorable events for us? Favorable events are getting a 5. Right. Now what are we only concerned about? We are only concerned about getting a 5 and getting a 5 before a 7. That means our total sample space becomes 4 and this 6. So 4 plus 6 becomes how much? 10. So 4 by 10 is nothing but 40%. We really don't care if 1 occurred before, 2 occurred after, 2 occurred after it, 4 occurred before. We are not concerned. We are only concerned that 5 occurs before 7 occurs. Right. So for this total thing, how many possibilities are there? 10 possibilities. Now, what are the things that are in favor of us? Getting a 5. That means 4 is in favor of us. So 4 by 10, 40% becomes the answer. Right. Now let's move on to this question. Right. In the given figure, if a sum of the values along each side is equal, what is the find the possible values of A, B, C, D, E and F. Right. Again, don't try to kind of solve it. Instead of that, it is much better to kind of approach this problem through options. Right. What are the different sides here? This is side 1. Right. This is side 2. This complete thing, 15 plus C plus D plus 5, I am assuming it to be side 2. 32 plus A plus B plus 10, I am assuming it to be side 1. 10 plus F plus 5, I am assuming it to be this thing, I am assuming it to be side 3. Right. And 32 plus E plus 15, I am assuming it to be side 4. Right. So first what I'll do is I'll kind of check for side 3 and 4 because the number of values are less. E value is how much? 10 plus F plus 5 and was not E's value. Third side value is how much? 10 plus F plus 5 and fourth side value is how much? 32 plus E plus 15. Right. Now let's see what are the different values I can substitute in E and F. right? What are the different possibilities? From the first option, it is 16 and 36. So I substitute 16 here, 36 here. Will it satisfy? I'm using option A, right? Third side value becomes how much? 10 plus f value is how much? 36. So 10 plus 36 plus 5, which will give me 10 plus 36, 46 plus 5 is 51, right? Fourth side value is how much? 32 plus 15 is 47, plus e value is given as how much? 16 here. 47 plus 16 is 63, so A doesn't satisfy our option, right? Let's move on to option B. Third side, how much value does it give? 10 plus f plus 5. 10 plus f value is considered to be 38, so 10 plus 38 plus 5, 10 plus 38, 48, this is 53, right? And if you kind of take a look at fourth side value is 32 plus 15 is 47, plus e is how much? 16. So 47 plus 16 gives us 63, so this is not satisfying our option. Let's move on to option C now. What does your option C say? Right, it says your third side value is again 38. So 10 plus 38 is 48. 48 plus f value is how much? Sorry. 10 plus f. 10 plus 5 is 15. 15 plus f value is assumed to be 38. So 15 plus 38 is 53. Right. And fourth side value is how much? 32 plus 15, which is 47. So 47 plus e value is how much? 6. That is equal to 53 again. Right. First value now yes, your third side and fourth side values are becoming equal. So let's see if this condition is satisfied for the other sides. What are the other sides? The first one and the second one. First one, what is it? 32 plus 10 plus a and b. So 42 plus a plus b. A plus b value should be equal to 11 because the total value should be equal to 53. A plus b, 4 plus 7 is 11. Yes, this particular thing is satisfied. Now let's see for the second side. What is the second side? Second side ke liye I have 15 here, I have 5 here. So 15 plus 5 is 20 plus c plus d. C plus d plus should be how much? It should be 16 plus, it should be 33. 33 to get the answer. To get the total value is 53. So 20 plus 13, is it 53? Sorry, is it 33? Yes, 20 plus 13 is 33. 33 plus 20 is 53. So this one also satisfied. So your answer is option C, 4, 7, 20, 13, 6 and 38. Right? Again, looks complicated but a very simple problem. Now, this is a very interesting one. Right? How many polynomial functions of degree 1 satisfy, what is the condition here? F of x square is equal to f of x whole square is equal to f of x. Right? What is the condition that should happen? F of x square is equal to f of x whole square, that should be equal to f of x. Right. Now whenever I say it's a polynomial of degree 1, what is the possibility? The only possibility is f of x will be equal to ax plus b. If it's of degree 1, it's a linear equation. Linear equation form is always ax plus b. Now let's see and substitute this. From the first one, if f of x square value becomes how much? Ax square plus b. F of x whole square becomes how much? A square x square plus b square plus 2axb plus f of x value becomes equal to how much? A of ax plus b plus b. Now if I do this, this will be equal to a square x plus ab plus b. Right. Now what should happen? These all should be equal. So let's equate any one of them. I am equating the first equation, the second equation. So ax square plus b is equal to a square x square plus b square plus 2ax into b. Right. Now what is happening here? Now ax square plus b should be equal to a square x square plus b square plus 2ax into b. Now if this has to happen, what should happen? The coefficients, the similar coefficient should be equal. So x square term here and x square term here should be equal. That means a should be equal to a square, and the constants, what are the constants on both sides? B and b square. So b is equal to b square, and what is the other thing that should happen? 2ab should be equal to 0. Right. Now, let's see when this happens. Right. Let me just check if I've put everything right here. Ax square plus b square. Perfect. Right. So, a is equal to a square, b is equal to b square, and 2ab should be equal to 0. Now, this can happen in only in some, what are the cases? If a should be equal to a square, what are the different values that are possible? A should be either 0 or 1. Similarly, b should be either 1 or 0, and 2ab should again be a. Again, if any one of them happens, this one will exist. Right. Now, a can obviously be not be equal to 0, because if a is 0, what happens? This will not be of, f of x will be equal to how much? F of x will just be equal to b, right? So then this will not become a linear equation. So a value cannot be 0, right? So a value can only be 1. So a value is equal to 1. Right. Now b should be equal to b square. So b can be either 1 or 0. But the important thing to note is 2ab should also be equal to 0. If 2ab should be equal to 0, what should happen? ab should be equal to 0. When will ab be equal to 0? When one of them, either a or b, is equal to 0. We already know a is equal to 1. So what should happen? B value should be equal to how much? B value should be equal to 0. Right. So the only possibility in which f of x square is equal to f of x plus f of x, if this condition exists, is when a is equal to 1 and b is equal to 0. It will not happen for any other case. So how many polynomials exist? There is only one polynomial that exists. So your answer becomes option A, 1. Right. Slightly complicated, and I have done this problem mainly because we haven't done any models on functions in the class. So that's the reason I have done this problem. Right. So go ahead. Make neat notes of this, and you can again you can solve this. Right. Now I'll kind of explain one other kind of just an extension of this problem. Let me take a whiteboard for it. Right. So what should happen? F of x square should be equal to f of x. So f of x whole square should be equal to f of x. In the first case, I equated the first two equations. Now let's see if we equate the second two equations, what happens. F of x whole square becomes again how much? As we did a square x square, we are assuming f of x to be ax plus b. So a square x square plus b square plus 2axb should be equal to a square x plus ab plus b square. Right. This is what happens when f of x whole square is equal to f of x. So what happens? F of x is nothing but a into ax plus b. That's what I did here. Right. Now again, if I equate the coefficients, what happens? A square would be equal to 0. B square anyways gets cancelled out, and ab is also equal to 0. So automatically 2ab is equal to a square. Right. Now if I kind of take a look at this, what happens? A square is equal to 0. Right. So that means what will happen? A is equal to 0. Now if a is equal to 0 cannot happen. Now if you equate the first two equations, we got the answers to be a is equal to 1, b is equal to 0. If we equated the second two equations, we got a is equal to 0 as one of the answer. However, this is not going to happen because a cannot be equal to 0, because the important condition is f of x is equal to ax plus b. Ax plus b is a linear equation. So a value cannot be equal to 0. Right. Now that's about your problem. That's about this problem. Right. Now let's move to the next one. Again a functions problem. Let's see what are they asking here. F of n plus f of n is equal to 2n plus 3. You are asked to find out f of 2012. Right. Slightly difficult one. If you kind of look at the number, we got f of 0, they are asking f of 2012, looks very scary. Right. So let's try it out. Let's see what is happening. Suppose say, I'll try to first find out f of 1 value. So let's substitute f of, we only know 0 value. Right. So let's see how, let's substitute n is equal to 0 and see what happens. So f of 0 plus f of 0, this is equal to 2 into 0 is 0 plus 3. Right. So f of 0 value, you know it to be how much? 1. So let's substitute 1 here. This here I have f of 1 plus 1. This is equal to 3. From this f of 1 value, I got it to be how much? 2. Okay. Now let's try it. Let's substitute n is equal to 1 here, right? So f of 1 plus f of 1 is equal to 2 into n value you are assuming to be how much now? 1. Since we know f of 1 value, so 2 into 1 plus 3. This is coming down to how much? 2 into 1 is 2 plus 3 is 5. F of 1 is how much? 2. So f of 1 again, f of 1 value is how much? 2. So f of 2 plus 2 is equal to 5. From this f of 2 value is how much? 3. You see a pattern? 0, 1, 1, 2. F of 0 is 1. F of 1 is 2. F of 2 is 3. Right. Now before we conclude, let's see for one other one if substitute n is equal to 3. F of 3 plus f of 3 is equal to 2 into 3 plus 1. 2 into 3 is 6 plus 3 is 9. Right. Sorry, we'll substitute n is equal to 2. I'm substituting n is equal to 2. Right. So here also 2. So this is 2 into 2 plus 3 is how much? 7. So f of 2 is how much? F of 2 is 3. So f of 2 plus f of 2 is how much? 3. So plus 3 is equal to 7. So f of 2 would be equal to 4. And f of 2 value, f of 2 value already know it to be how much? 3. So from this what you are able to conclude, f of 3 value is equal to 4. Now the pattern is sure. F of 0, 1, f of 1, 2, f of 2, 3, f of 3, 4. So f of 2012 will be equal to how much? 2013. Right. That's about the problem there. Right. Now let's get started with the next one. Right. A small change in the question here, guys. Here this is not square. This is just x power 2011 plus x power 2010 plus x power 2009 and so on to x plus 1. Right. So what is here given here? The two functions. One function is x power 2012 plus x power 2010 plus x so on till whole square minus x power 2012. This is one, and this is the q of x is another one. You are asked when p of x is divided by q of x, what is the remainder? This remainder value is how much? Right. Now if you have to solve it using x, it is going to be a very difficult problem. Right. So instead what we'll do is, let's see for what values of x will this function exist. Right. If this function p of x by q of x has to exist, what should happen? Q of x should not be equal to 0. Q of x will not be 0 for what values? X is equal to 1. It will not be 0 because there is a lot of 1s here. Right. And x is equal to 0. It will not be 0 because till this part it will be 0, but you have a 1 here. So this will not be 0. So let's substitute any one of them and try this problem out. Right. So what happens? So let's substitute x is equal to 0. P of 0 will be equal to how much? X power 2012 plus x power 2010, all are zeros. So you'll have 1 whole square minus 1 power 2012 is again 1 itself by, if you kind of look at the denominator, it is just 1. So this will be equal to how much? 0. Right. So your reminder, when when x value is 0, p value p of 0 by q of 0, this is 0 itself. Let's see another one. Let's see if p of 1 by q of 1. P of 1 by q of 1, what happens? I have 2012 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. So how many such things are there? 2012 to x power 1, there are 2012 such terms plus 1. So you have 2013 whole square minus 1 power 2012 is how much? 1 power 2012 is just 1 by denominator. What do you have? You have 20 power 11 to x power 2011 to x power 1. Those are 2011 terms plus another one which is 2012. So what happens? So this is how much? 2012 again. Right. I'm substituting p of 1 by q of 1. What happens here? 2013, you can write this as a square minus 2013 whole square minus 1 square is like a square minus b square. So that is how much? 2013 a square minus b square is a plus 1 into a minus, a square minus b square is a plus b into a minus b. So 2013 plus 1 into 2013 minus 1 by 2012. 2013 minus 1 is 2012 itself. So this complete numerator is a perfect multiple of 2012. So what happens? Your remainder will be again 0. So your answer is option B. What is option B? 0. I just check for two values just to kind of be careful. I check for two values. So whenever you have such big numbers, what you need to do, you need to check with you need to check for various values. If there are x, don't get worried just by the look of it. right? Try substituting different values, you'll get the answer, right? Now let's move to the next one. 4 men throw a die each simultaneously. Find the probability that at least 2 get the same number, right? I don't have to solve this problem, right? I'll just give you a clue. 1 minus each one should get a different number. How many ways can you do this? Just go ahead and do it. I think your answer will be 13 by 18, but anyways, if you want, let's try it out. So 1 minus, what is happening? All of them should get different. So the first one can get, say, 5 by, first one gets one value, the third, the other one should get a different value. So the number of possibilities are 5 by 6 for the second one, right? For third one, the number of possibilities are 4 by 6. For the fourth one, the number of possibilities are 3 by 6. So just solve this. So 1 minus 5 into 4 is 20, 23 is 60 by 216, right? So 216 minus 60 by 216, if you solve this, you'll have some 156 by 216. So if you solve this, 12 13s are 12 18s are. So 13 by 18 is my answer, right? Very simple one. The first one can get any number, right? Once, what should happen? Once first person can get any one number, what should happen? The second person should get a different number apart from 1. So first one gets, say, a 2. The second person has 5 other choices. Third person should get a number different from the first 2. So he has 4 choices. The next person has 3 choices. So if you solve this, the answer will be 13 by 18, right? Now let's move on to this question. In how many ways the digits of the number 2, 2, 3, 3, 5, 5, 4, 8 can be arranged so that the odd digits are placed in even positions? First, let's see how many digit number this is. 2 here, 2, 4, plus 2, 6, plus 4, 10 digit number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 7, 8. Right, so how many digits I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Right, so it's a 10 digit number, right? How many my odd digits have to go to even places. So what are the even places? 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. So all the odd digits should go to any one of the 5 places. So there are how many numbers totally? There are 5 places, but how many odd digits are there for me? There are only 4 odd digits. So I need to select any 4 places out of this 5. So the number of ways I could choose that is 5C4 into, right? How many of these number of ways you can arrange these odd digits in this place are how much? 4 factorial by, since there are 2 3s and 2 5s, right? The number of ways you could do is into 2 factorial by 4 factorial by 2 factorial into 2 factorial into, right? In the rest of the other 6 places, what will come? Your other even digits will come. So 6, how many? If 4 numbers are gone here, there's 6 even numbers, and number of ways you could arrange them is, again, if you look among the even numbers, 4 8s are similar, 2 2s are similar. So you can write it as 4 factorial into 2 factorial. 5C4 you can write it as 5 into 4 factorial by 2 factorial into 2 factorial. I think if you kind of do it, you'll get it to be 4 in, this is 6. 6 into 5 by 2, this is 15. So 15 6 is 90, 92 is 95 is 450. So option B, 450 is your answer, right? So that's pretty much it. I think we have solved a good number of problems. These are very important problems, right? And one thing I would like to say is, don't worry too much about the length of the question, the kind of question. Just focus on the basics which we discussed in the class. Look at these problems once again. I think you'll do great in the test, right? Most of you have concentrated in your classes. You have worked hard, so believe in that. Go for your exam, and right, don't worry too much. Okay, chalo then. All the best, guys.